written or spoken on anything age of the earth related.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was going with it, and I don't know. I mean, I've got like letters right here from him, cause like a big stack of letters where he like he I forget what he said, but I mean I don't have them with me right now, like all of them, but he was basically.
I get the idea. I just sit back and go, okay, wait a minute. Why would you want? You stage a public debate unless you're drawing an audience based on personality. And I don't know, maybe Ken Hovey could do that. James White can't do that. Okay? You're not going to draw a large crowd like, and I'll talk about the Lutheran thing in a minute. If you just want to debate at the Elm, how many people do you think will show up?
No, not really.
You know?
Yeah, no, I'm going through something right now because I'm sort of being trolled on YouTube by a Mormon who knows that I'm also like I read a lot of James White, and like, but we're not really getting anywhere because he's making a bunch of false claims, and then when I offer him the opportunity to to validate it, he's just moving on to other points without validating anything he's saying. So I really don't have much of a chance to kind of defend myself against him because he's on.
You know, of course, that he's been trained to do that.
I know.
You know, look, they're great at it. The Jehovah's Witnesses.
What was that?
You know, Mormons and Jehovah's Witnesses have been trained to do the stick and move routine. You know, throw a punch and then move out of the way. So when you come to respond to it, they're not even there anymore.
Yeah, that's basically what he's been doing to me for about a week now.
Yeah.
So.
But you know, and there's a reason why Dr. White's comments are off on YouTube.
Yeah, and I know. I've seen a video where he was basically saying to somebody, he said, because I'm subscribed to him on YouTube, and he was saying, and I'm also friends with him on Facebook too.
You need something fast?
And he said basically, he's like, why do I need to give a comment section for people to spew their hatred?
Right, and you know, the atheists are the worst. I mean, I just last week got an email from an atheist who's obviously just fit to be tied because James dared to say something about Richard Dawkins, and
a whole lot of things can be said about Richard Dawkins.
Yeah, but the guy just had this insatiable need to drop the F-bomb right and left, and decided to email in to do it.
Oh wow!
You know, imagine what it would look like on every single video. It wouldn't matter what the subject. These people, A, hate us with a passion, and B, you would think that someone who really was trying to communicate in an intelligent manner would at least recognize that his audience or her audience is offended by certain things in your behavior. And so you don't do those things in order to get your point across.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
But, you know, they can't seem to finish a sentence. And you wonder, is this how you were raised? At what point did these kinds of, I mean, just simple general decency and manners leave your home? You know, if you're going to speak to a religious person, for the most part, in that manner, they're going to be offended, they're going to shrink back, and they're not going to want to hear anything you have to say.
Well, yeah, I think that's part of the reason why they do it, so that you know, people like they'll talk like that, so the person just says, "Oh."
Absolutely right. That is the point, to push you away, to get you out of the way, so that they don't have to deal with you and make you shut up.
Exactly. So, I don't know, man.
Yeah. But as far as Hobart goes, I don't see, it's apples and oranges.
Yeah, that's initially what I thought too, but he's been persistent on it, so I'm just like, well, hey, I'll try.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not seeing it. Um, let alone where would his I mean, to my knowledge, he hasn't written anything on Calvinism. Am I missing something?
Oh, well, he's written... I was going to tell you, first off, you sound a lot like James White, actually. I don't know if anyone's ever told you that.
I get that a lot. I've gotten it for 30 years.
You do. You sound a lot like him. That's why it confused me. I'm like, if this is James White, I'm just going to have a heart attack.
No. All right. Keep the heart under control. You're fine.
No, he's just written a bunch of letters. The only thing I've ever seen that he's ever wrote on Calvinism were in letters to me, where he's, like, really badly misrepresented us. Like, he doesn't even have an understanding of what it is.
Okay. That's where you go with it. In your response, simply say, you know what, a guy like James White has made it clear. He's not going to give you the time of day unless you can accurately represent what he believes. I'm going to give you a perfect example.
Okay.
Me and this Lutheran guy locked horns. And I got a little upset with him because he's been told now publicly 3 different times there won't be a debate. Not going to happen.
Well, where was this told to him publicly? I'm just kind of wondering.
Well, Twitter, for one thing, and on Facebook.
Oh.
So, but he keeps pressing for this debate thing, and finally I went off on it. I don't feel real good about the way I went off on him, and I wish I wouldn't have been late at night and I was tired. But I said things that I believe, I still believe, but sometimes it's rude to say things even if they're true.
Yeah.
And if they don't need to be said. And I unleashed on the guy, and I said, look, James is prepping for a debate with 4 Muslims at the end of next month in South Africa. Okay?
I was going to ask, wasn't that around the time where he debated, he debated Shabir Ali a long time ago.
Yeah, well, Shabir Ali will be down in South Africa. He's going down there specifically for this, too. So there's going to be another one of those, another one of the, why am I drawing a blank on his name? Not Abdullah Kunda. There's 2 South African Muslim apologists. Shabir Ali and another gentleman. And he's prepping for all this. This is huge. The trip in and of itself is an ordeal.
Well, yeah, I mean, even just...
48 hours to get down there.
Well, even just to go against Shabir Ali is pretty tough, because Shabir Ali is pretty smart.
So, but I'm trying to tell the guy, look, you come out of nowhere, and somehow you feel like he needs to drop everything that he's doing and deal with you and me else. And I'm not going to let that happen. I'm telling you once again, bluntly, move on. Go away. Enough.
And he won't listen?
And I this is where I went overboard. And I said, you're starting to seem like a stalker. You need to really look at how you conduct yourself on the web. And I was over the top. I shouldn't have said that. Okay, but I was trying to get the point across. He wasn't up to that point getting it. And, well, he took offense to that. And he said, listen, if I was a stalker, I would have already listened to the 40-something sermons that James White did from the book of Hebrews.
Well,
I had to, because I knew I was getting out of control and I needed to stop.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing. If you're willing to debate someone, you figured you'd listen to their material anyway.
Yeah. And I thought to myself afterwards, that's the difference between you and James White. Because that's what James White does with his opponents before he ever gets in the ring with them. Because he wants to know exactly what they believe, why they believe it. He is not interested in misrepresenting them. He's not interested in yellow journalism. He wants to know so that he can deal with what they believe directly.
Yeah, there's...
Ken Homite, if he really wants to be taken seriously on the subject of Calvinism, he needs to do that. He needs to get what James has written on the subject. Get me the list of all 40 sermons of the book of Hebrews. I don't think he actually did 40, but he did a lot.
Well, see, that's the thing. That's
you need to know what the other guy believes for real.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing that I was surprised with, because I simply asked him. I was like, well, if you're going to critique James White, then is there any way that I can, buy you a book of his or something? Because if it comes from Amazon, like, I can't send it personally into a prison. He's getting out next year anyway. But if
What
you,
state?
what was that?
What state is he in?
Right now, he just got transferred into New Hampshire. He was right here in Colorado. He was about 20 minutes down the road from me.
He's in a federal prison, though, huh?
Yeah, he was. But what's kind of funny is because when I contacted his ministry or whatever to, I don't know if it's quite a ministry, to get his address to write him, he was actually right down the street from me.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't know that. But I did offer. I said, well, if you're going to critique James White, would you mind if I... Because at first we were debating, me and Ken Hovind were talking about, and it was like a debate, we were talking about the book that James White wrote called The King James Only Controversy, because Ken Hovind's a King James Onlyist. And so I said, well, before you critique him and say that he doesn't know what he's talking about and stuff like that, can I buy you the book so that you can read it? And he wouldn't even let me buy him the book.
Yeah, that's sad. That's really sad.
Yeah, no, I was like, I'm offering to buy it for you, and you won't let me buy it for you.
That's really sad because, the Christian needs to be about the truth.
Yeah.
An apologist or not, we're all called to defend the faith, and we need to be about making sure that we've got it right. When I go up to Salt Lake City and I share the gospel with the Mormons, I try really hard to make sure that I know what they believe and why they believe it before I get there.
Well, see, yeah, but the problem with that is that every few years, because they believe in progressive revelation, every few years their doctrine is different.
Well, and see, that's where you got to learn that too. You got to learn how they're approaching it, and you got to know how to effectively pin their ears back, because that's an issue. And you sit back and go, okay, if you believe in progressive revelation, and you believe all this stuff, where in progressive revelation are these new things? Where did the prophet prophesy that you can change the temple ceremony from 90 minutes to 60 minutes? Where did the prophet prophesy before that you can change temple ceremony from 3 hours to 90 minutes?
Yeah.
I mean, where is the prophecies? Because the last prophecy I see coming out of the Mormon Church was 1978. And it started off with who would make it serve. It was a Smith to do things that way. It was not stand for war.
Yeah, I know. I have a question for you. Is there an email I can use to contact you guys? Because I'm actually learning a lot from this conversation too.
Yeah, look, the easiest way to get a hold of me, frankly, the easiest way to get a hold of me is call me, just like you're doing right now. But email is easy at bailmen.org.
Okay.
At gmail.com.
All right. Well, because I actually have to run right now, but I would like to continue this with you. You're actually teaching me some things that I didn't even know. So is that okay? Is that okay with you though, or?
I'm here most every day. If you want to give me a call or use the email, that's fine.
Okay. And what's your name again?
Rich Pierce.
Okay. All right. Thank you. It was nice talking with you though.
You too, sir. Take care. Blessings.
You too. Same to you, bud.